Happy Eclipse Day, everybody. Today marks a very auspicious opening in the cosmos of eclipse season. And if you're looking for a way to understand, tune into those energies, and to join together with a little powerful goddess energy that we've brewed up here for you, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Akashic Academy. My name is Emily Harrison. I am the founder and director here inside of this awesome space. As you guys can see, we have so many hosts coming every single day, sharing their expertise, their wisdom, their knowledge, and giving you guys experiences in their mode of energy every day, opportunities to grow and expand. I'm so excited to be a part of this amazing group. And today, as this eclipse energy opens, as these opportunities for instant manifestation open in our lives, I have the one and only Megan Gunsorek here with
You got
me
it.
today. I knew it. I set myself up for that when I say before the thing. I got to make sure I pronounce her name right. I met Megan through Coach Nick and had the most awesome conversation with her when we were chatting. It was just like we were telling the same stories, the same interpretations of the connection, but had different experiences with it. And it's so exciting and as I talk about it, I feel the energy move through my body. Such an exciting and lit up conversation because I resonate so much with your energy. You are the founder and facilitator of the Morphic field, which I'm all about people who create their own modalities, who create their own businesses. I'm so excited to welcome you to this space and so excited for you to be here and hold this portal open for my community on this cool day. So I'm going to invite you guys, like it up, share it out. I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to turn it over to you while I'm sharing out. Please tell us about what is the Morphic field and what are the things that you do for people?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Emily. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. The Morphic field is it's a healing modality. It kind of stems from family systemic constellation work, which is a modality out of Germany that heals transgenerational trauma. So trauma that's passed down energetically and that is lingering in our field. So we take on certain roles in our family and carry these traumas and relive them in our lives. So that modality in which I was trained in heals in that regard. Now, the field that they access, family systemic constellation work, they call it the knowing field. The Morphic field is the same thing, and there's shamanic fields, and they're all interrelated. So the Morphic field, what I do is I heal the transgenerational trauma. That's what shows up with my clients for me is that transgenerational trauma that they're still holding on to, and also personal trauma too. So things happen in our own lives at different stages, and parts of us split and remain lingering in our fields, and at that same age with that same personality at the time of the split. And that's part of the healing. It's part of the process of how our system, our field maintains itself and balances itself. But unfortunately, those lingering parts can become, and they're in our subconscious, they're in our shadow, and they can become blocks. And when we don't, they can become suppressed. And so when we let them, when they are suppressed, they're basically, they could be running the show, causing chaos and havoc in our lives. It's when we can unsuppress them. It's when we can reveal them and uncover what's actually in our field, that we can reconnect those parts. We can actually use that energy, that same energy that is blocking us. We can flip it into a resource and basically become a team with ourselves again, right? And at the same time, that transgenerational trauma, connecting, same thing. We can flip it. We can we can use that energy and connect with our ancestors powerfully. They are resourcing us at every moment. We just have to access it. So that's it in a nutshell.
I
And
love it.
one more thing
Okay.
we also do is place your future self into your field. So how great is this? So not only are you healing the past and healing what's in your way, you're actually placing your future self in your field, and you're creating a foundational structure to take steps to that future self so that that journey is magical, is empowering, is resourced, and is what this is
Mm.
what the journey that we're all on, and we can do it in a very conscious, powerful way.
Aren't you guys stoked and excited? You can see, like, I'm already like, just to conduct the energy, my body has to start moving. I'm so excited for this. For those of you guys who hang out with me and have been around here for a while, does this not sound exactly like the Akashic Records? You can see why I get so lit up in my sister Megan's energy field, because while we might have slightly different language for how the energy is moving, this is it's exactly it. It's the etheric field that we're connecting with. And you're so right. We have past life issues and trauma that are not only our past life, but in our ancestry too. And that was one of the main things that came through when I was creating the Akashic Records course where I teach my students, is that we have to show up to clear ancestral energy and be able to recognize and understand this. So when we had the conversation and you started talking about this modality that you had been trained in and how powerful it was, it felt like such a confirmation to me, because that is a cornerstone of what I'm being shown is so important right now. And of course, how cool is it that when we learn to alchemize this energy, you guys, and when we come together in union like we are right now to do it together, there are many different ways we can tune into the energy. This aspect of plugging into our future selves or plugging that energy into our lives is super powerful. And on this time right now, I'm just going to share a little bit about the eclipse energy, because it's opening portals for instant manifestation. And a very simple, and another way to say that is, we are meeting our karma much quicker. Okay, so when we are creating our karma from our own consciousness, we are having the opportunity to meet it. And we also have the opportunity to excel and move on from it, because I do believe as we live in the 5D, as we live conscious and present every moment, we're actually no longer creating karma. We're no longer creating that wave of karma. So it's a really cool opportunity to use that portal to transcend right now. So you're going to be meeting your karma much more instantaneously, regardless of whether you're conscious of doing it or not. That's just how the energy works. So if you are plugged into lower vibrations of frustration or fear or insecurity, you're going to produce the opportunity to learn through that experience right now. If that's what you so choose, I will hold space for you. If you would like to join in ceremony with us today and consciously direct that into tuning into your highest future, we're figuring it out. We're learning how to do this with our energy. And that's why I'm so grateful that people like you, Megan, have followed your intuition. You have continued to learn and grow and create opportunities to share that with the planet. Before we get to doing this really awesome ceremony and process we're going to do, which, by the way, if you haven't shared this out yet, please share this out. There's somebody in your life who is going to benefit from being here with us today. And while you're sharing it out, Megan, I would love it if you would talk a little bit about what your process looked like as you emerged and transitioned from. I mean, did you have an old job that you did before you did this? Because a lot of people are finding either a call to a shift in their career, or are already aligning to what that energy looks like. So what did it look like for you?
Oh, Emily, it's been a long journey. I'm from Ohio. I'm in Southern California right now. And I mean, I owned a restaurant for a while. I was an artist. I went to school for art. I was a financial controller. I did many different jobs that were working for other people. And I knew, I was doing my art, but I knew when I was doing my art, it felt expressive and great, but I knew it wasn't the whole thing. And so I just kept, I knew I one day wanted to do my own thing, and I just didn't really know what it was. And I had, just like many people, I think um, in our realm, reached a couple low points in my life. My husband and I finally decided to split up, and I was in between a career, wasn't really sure what to do, knew it was time to leave Ohio, but didn't know where to go. And I really reached a low point. I literally had a dream one night that I met, which I didn't have these words back then, but I met my future self, and she was in California, and there was my husband was there, my new husband, my next husband, and
Mhm.
a baby, and I had this career that I felt was, I mean, I didn't really know what it was, but it was like,
Mhm.
you have everything that you want. Come here now. I literally woke up the next, then this wasn't, I mean, I was intuitive, I was spiritual, but this was a distinct before and after. The next day, gave my boss the notice. And 3 months later, I basically sold everything and moved across country. I mean, that was how powerful that was. I was like, okay, now I have this guide, which was my future self.
Mm.
And so I've been on this journey, and that was what, 3.5 years ago. Moved, followed my intuition, and again, yeah, I was using my intuition back in the day and synchronicities and then that, but it wasn't, I had never moved across country and said goodbye to my family before, but this was a strong
Mhm.
force. This was like, okay, Megan, this is your life purpose. And of course, I went through the whole, do I trust? Just take a first step. Do I trust? And you know, that's part of the journey is to just go, okay, I can take this first step and then allow that whole world to just respond and open up and then go, okay,
Mhm.
but every time we reach that point where we go, can I trust this time? Well, it's like, yeah, we can trust this time, because every time we ask that question, it does this, it supports us, and we can take that next step. And that's when I reconnected with the family systemic constellation work, which I had done years ago, but it wasn't time. Timing is everything, not everything, but timing is a really big factor in this. And to the point earlier when you were talking, this, I think what's going on right now, um, I could not be who I am and do this work 5, 10 years ago. Everything just didn't come together back then. I just think it's a special time right now. And this is I think it's all, we're all being called, we're all being brought into the light. And so, yeah, people out there who are hearing this calling, it's now. It is time. So keep leaning into it. This is
Oh,
amazing what we're
say that
accessing right now.
again. Keep leaning into it. Ooh, I love that. That's beautiful. And so many people out here are responding to your story. I did too. This is why I lit up during the conversation that we had, because I obviously have a lot of really parallel like guideposts of how my life went. I grew up in the Midwest. I hightailed it to California. There were just a lot of synchronicities that were lining up. When you talk about the time frame, 3.5 years ago, this really broke open for me, 2015 as well. And I just felt really connected and synchronous with what you're doing. I love the way that when you come across somebody who just uses a slightly different language than you do, it opens up new ways of absorbing the information more deeply. And that's a really powerful experience that I got from you. I remember getting off the call feeling a really like a heightened sense of clarity and understanding, because I had fed off of that powerful energy that you've got pumping through your being, just as you're
Mhm.
following your intuition and having the wisdom of what to do with this energy and how to share it. So with no further ado, I'd love to turn it over to you to take us through a process. I will say that all of a sudden I have gardeners here that I was not expecting. I had no idea that they showed up. So I'm going to give you the entire screen and go make sure I've got my set on lockdown so they don't interrupt this important time. Okay?
Sure. And I'm
All
gonna
right.
switch. There's my big thumb there. Okay. I'm gonna actually, I need to switch my screen. To do that is not the right button. There we go. All right, guys. So I'm switching my screen here because what we're gonna do is a tabletop constellation. I'm gonna put my phone into this contraption here, and I'm gonna show you my tabletop, and we're gonna do what's called a mini constellation. Constellation is basically when you enter the field, when you're in the morphic field, and you're bringing up the parts of your field, whether it's your family field or your personal field. The constellation is how those parts show up. So sorry for the shaking. That's just what we're gonna have to deal with. And so what I'm going to do right now, I'm gonna just slow things down first, and I pretty much can access the field pretty much on demand. But with my clients, I'll I have them go through a meditation, and we'll just have the barking be part of this. We'll just have all the chaos that's going on be part of this. When you enter the field, it's interesting. You will everything that happens while I'm in the field with my clients is part of their journey. It's part of their constellation. So there's no accident that a dog barks. There's no accident that chaos happens. We include it. Everything gets to be included as hey, what there could be a significance of that dog barking. So we include it. And so what I'm going to do right now is, again, I'm slowing it down. I'm feeling really connecting to the underlying dynamics of what's going on right now in this moment and relating them all. I'm going deeper. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring into the field. I'm going to bring into the field me now. So this is me in the current moment. Our words are very powerful, and I'm very particular. I'm very precise what words I use to bring into the field, and I can change them as we go. But I'm going to write into here me now, and then I'm going to put an arrow. This is the arrow representing where I'm facing in the field, and you'll understand what that means in just a moment. I'm just going to place me in the field. I'm going to place me right here. Actually, well, I'm going to place me over here. And I'm going to place my hand onto this piece of paper, which is what we say it's representing in the field. So it's representing me now. And as I place my hand on this piece of paper, I'm going to start to channel the energy of me now. And it should feel very familiar to me. It's just really getting me more focused and more present in my body, tuned to my feelings. And I just got this energy rush. So I am feeling more present and aware. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is place my future self into the field. And I'm going to write on here, again, words are very powerful. So I'm going to write in here my future self. We have an infinite amount of future self potentials and futures. And so I'm going to be very specific about what future self I want to bring into my field. And you can bring your future self. Let's say, for example, you're having some anxiety in the moment, and it's nighttime and you're having that nighttime anxiety. You can actually bring your future self later on that night, let's say 10 p.m. future self who feels relaxed and peaceful and happy and fulfilled and had a great night, got through the night, connected, and you can actually bring that future self into the field and have a conversation with that future self. Right now, I'm going to bring into my future self that is, let's say, my future self who, let's say it's a year down the road, a couple years down the road, and I'm going to say she's her, my career is, I'm helping transform lives around the world. So like I'm reaching that far out. So around the world. So my reach is really far. I feel like I am giving lectures. So like on stage, and I do perform, but also I think it's giving lectures and presentations. And it feels like I'm in front of groups. And I'm just sensing like what's going to happen. And I'm, using my intuition. And then I'm also saying, this is what I want too. I think there's going to be a powerful partnership with a man. And that it feels like a romantic. Let's see. There's going to be really great, powerful partnerships. Otherwise, business, friends. So I'm just starting to bring this future self in. God, I feel peaceful. Peaceful came to me. This is fun. I feel like there's a lot of travel going on here. Is there anything else that I want to to bring into here. This feels like it's a good, I'm feeling like I've got a good understanding and feeling and capturing who this future self is. So I'm going to, and I can always add more to it, and more will be revealed in the field. So the next thing I'm going to do is place this into the field, and I'm just going to place this in front of me now. And placing my hand on here, we're gonna have an interaction, a conversation, a relationship here. So I'm placing my hand on here. Immediately, I get this large presence. Like she's got an impact, a lot of energy. The energy around her is huge, is what I'm feeling right now. So I'm getting the grand, big personality and reach, and I'm feeling that immediately. And I almost don't even have words for it. It's so it feels so strong and powerful. I'm getting this white light around me. I feel like there's this white light around this energy as well, and it feels giving and giving and connected. So I'm feeling that energy that I feel with other people, like with my clients, with the people that I'm reaching, the people that I'm helping, and they feel very grateful. I just my head just bowed down, like I felt very humble. I just got really emotional about this, so I'm actually feeling this in my body right now. I just got the chills, very emotional about that, like the humility. I'm so honored to be helping people. Then the next I just got embracing people. Like there's lots of love. There's so much love and connection, and like physical connection as far as embracing. I also got the sense of people from different regions, like cultural. So there's connections across those lines too. Connection, bridging the gap. And that's part of that travel. It does feel like I'd be traveling a lot. All right, so I'm gonna go, and you guys, I could spend hours doing that, but I'm gonna, for the sake of time, go and see if we can have this conversation here, because part of the beauty of this is you can actually, it's so great to channel this energy, because when you do that, you have that in you, and you can, that's your guide. She's your guide. And also there's a conversation to be had. So there's questions that you now in the present moment can ask your future self. There's advice your future self gives you in the present moment. So let's go back here and see how me now is relating to my future self. So I just got that she's like, wow, okay, to the presence of this future self, like almost enamored by her, excited. There was an excitement, like I get to be that. I'm getting the chills in my body right now for that excitement. Again, feeling this a similar gratitude. Like I'm so excited for this journey. This is going to be an amazing journey. And the message the message that, so a lot of times, and I'm sure you guys are like this too, you want to know how to get there. You want to know how to be that right now. The message that I just got right now from myself in this current moment, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I feel more and more in my life. The more that I do this work is, don't tell me. I want to experience the journey. Guide me, but don't tell me, because I want it to unfold, because I get the magic of this. You gotta do the journey. It's not, you can't buy that magic. You can't, this is life. This is connection to source. This is what we're here for. And the other part of that is, you can't even imagine this, because it's so magical, because it is so connected to source. So there's this understanding of that in the moment that I have when I'm now seeing my future self, is more gratitude for the process. So I'm going to go back to my future self, and see if that, and just ask her if there's any messages she can give, or any advice or any guidance right now that she can give me in the current moment. Instantly was about love. You are loved, like you are so loved, and that just got me really emotional. Let's see if there's another message there. And you know what? Let me pause and make sure that I received that. Because that's part of this. This is like, there's messages and then there's also receiving too. And I just felt like I didn't receive that fully. So let me see if I received that fully. Okay, as much as I'm able to receive that, because I feel like there's, again, she knows a lot more than this one does. Or does she? So let's go back to see. Let's go back to see what if there's any other messages here. And there's definitely that joy and play and fun too. Joy and play and fun. So have fun during this journey. Okay, you know what? That's a really I needed to hear that, because I do as much. I mean, I perform improv. I mean, I love fun, but I sometimes put that aside because I'm like, I got to do my purpose. I got to do my. So that was a really important message. So, and I'm getting additional. So if I don't have the fun along with that, then I'm not including all of myself. So I need to allow myself to have that fun play along in this journey. So that's a message received. I needed that reminder, and that's a powerful reminder from her, because she's like a higher self goddess, if you will. And I'm really excited to embrace more and more of that on my journey. And again, the more that I do this work, the more that I feel that, right? It reflects in me, and each step I take in my life, I have more of that embedded in me. And that's been part of this journey of future self work, is you become that. You are that now. You become that now. And this is your guidance to and fully embody it even more and more. So, Emily, how are we on time?
I'm going to come back and join you here when I figure out which one is me.
Okay.
Yeah, we have about 3 more minutes, and this is a really powerful ceremony. Guys, I've noticed a couple questions come in, and you've asked if you can be doing this. Can anybody do this on themselves? And the answer is absolutely. If you were not doing this along with Megan while she was doing it, and when I joined back in, I instantly, because I have everything set up here in my office, started writing down the things and the me now and my future self and participating in this. And it's really interesting. Jason, I'm going to hide your comment for 1 minute and then I'll come back to it. It was really interesting because as a clairsentient, which I use all of my psychic senses in different moments, but that was really coming through in the touch of them and the communication back and forth. It was really cool. So if you did not do that live with us while we were doing it, absolutely, you can do this on yourself. That's the purpose, this is one of the ways that you can uncover that deeper understanding. So I think it's really good if you didn't participate to allow yourself to watch once so you know kind of what's expected of you. Some of us, as we begin to do this work on ourselves, we either don't feel confident, we're not sure if we're going to get the messages right, or you're not sure if you're doing it right. So it's like watching an exercise video once through before you actually do it, which most people don't do that. But if you were just watching today and you didn't do the exercise, you're naturally set up to come back at a later time, grab your Post-its and go through the exercise. It is really, really a fantastic way. This is a great way of feeling that information. I wanted to check out Jason Von Brevin's comment here. Yet though we can't buy that future magic of the self, we can surely be wowed enough by that self to get ourselves up and vibrating higher on what we were moving towards. So basically, saying that we can use that tuning in to inspire us on what it is that we can tune into and create.
Well, sure. And it's also inspiring you to clear, decisive action.
Mm-hmm. And here's what else is doing for you. This is fun. We can just go back and forth, ping pong, back and forth. It's creating the pattern for you to be able to tune into that frequency. And,
Absolutely.
because if you don't have that template, if you have incarnated into a life, and many light workers have, where they are clearing ancestral patterns, which what that means in your real life is that you incarnated into a shit ass growing up experience where maybe your family was really difficult, maybe you had difficult experiences, maybe you had a lot of areas where you've been wounded or hardened. And that shows up in light workers because we're clearing all of this energy. And it's really, like I said, powerful to show up, do it in the space. It can be done much more easily and effortlessly when we begin to observe how to do that through these energetic means. But if you have experienced that and you don't know how to experience happy, joy, ease, abundance, you've got to create that template of energy in some form or fashion. So when you do this and you tune in and you keep your vibration high, you can begin to expand your light body to be able to hold that frequency, or that app, basically, right? We got to be able to upgrade our own light vessel so that we can hold these higher frequencies of information. And that is done by a combination of releasing and expanding. Mm-hmm. Anybody have any questions for Megan today? We are coming to the end of our time here together. And like I said, that was really powerful. Nancy says, who knew sticky notes could be so amazing?
They are.
Yeah.
I love Post-its.
I do too. Maybe we can begin building a mind app shaped as a bridge. Nice. Cool. Dottie Love says, thank you, Megan. This is a very cool tool. It is absolutely a cool tool. Paul Bogey Brighton, Sufi Paul, who is one of our newest hosts here at the Akashic Academy. So make sure that you check out Paul. Hello, Wendy Sue. And make sure that you connect with Megan. Megan, let everybody know before we wrap up today how they can come find you.
Sure. So my website is the Morphic Field. Excuse me, themorphicfield.com. If you're in Southern California, I offer fantastic beach walk transformation. So I actually take my clients on the beach and we do a constellation there and reveal what's blocking them and then presence or future self. It is a phenomenal experience. I also offer virtual sessions as well. So I do clearing people's blocks and show them how to facilitate their own field through Zoom. And I have an online course, but basically you can find everything on my website, the Morphic Field.
Awesome. And I love so much the energy that, I'm going to go back to Paul's comment here for a second, because I just wanted to honor you for this. It was a fantastic show. And this is why I'm going to honor Anir's comment. You demonstrated for us in going through that and doing that reading for yourself exactly how the energy comes through for you. It was so vulnerable and so real and so beautiful that as a fellow light worker, I just wanted, it makes me emotional. I just wanted to acknowledge that it was a powerful process. And I love people who teach with that level of openness and vulnerability. Just one of the many reasons why I must have loved you from the very beginning. I'm starting to see like all of your beautiful traits that come up. And I love that community and connection that you described. So you're welcome here at the Akashic Academy anytime, my friend. You know, we're all about creating that space for collaboration. So if you are a light worker out there and you are looking for space to grow, expand, collaborate, to increase your impact, that is the goal of the Akashic Academy. So I invite you to reach out to me personally, send me a message. You can check out our link at the top of this page, the sign up button, and you can learn how to get started connecting with us inside the Akashic Academy, because this is only the tip of the iceberg, my friends. Such an honor to share this cool day with you guys, this eclipse energy. Megan, thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you,
awesome.
Everyone.
Yeah, for you to show up here. Would you also go back and post your links in the comments so we can easily find you? Awesome. All right. Namaste, my sister.
Thanks,
namaste, everybody out there. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.